We are going to get started with a sit-stay today. All right, we're going to teach her sit-stay, and we're going to teach her down-stay. Our sit-stay, we cap it at 1.5 minutes. Anything beyond that gets uncomfortable for the dog to maintain that seated position. She's not allowed to lay down, and she's not allowed to get up. She has to maintain the sit. For longer stays, we're going to do a down stay. We're going to do that for 4 minutes, but she's in a comfortable position because she's lying down. All right. Our progression for teaching a dog stay is time before distance before distraction. So a lot of pet owners, if I say, hey, does your dog know stay? They go, a little bit. I'll say, well, why don't you show me? And they'll go, sit, stay, stay. Okay, come here. Okay, and that's the extent of the stay, which is all wrong, all right? So we're going to teach your dog, when you say sit, stay, you're going to be able to walk from here to that cone, okay? For 1.5 minutes, you're going to be able to drag a chair by her. You're going to be able to tell her sit, stay outside your vehicle while you open the doors. She's going to do that. But there's a progression. So our progression first is time. Time means I want to teach her to stay seated. As I move around in front of her, I'm not trying to see how far away I can go. I know she's going to lay down or get up, and I want to be there to reinforce the behavior as quickly as I can, get her back on that same spot and seated again. And as we start to get success with short times, then we slowly increase, and we slowly increase until eventually we can walk around for 1.5 minutes and she stays. Once we get that, then we're going to work on distance. So no distance and no distraction, all right? Once we get our 1.5 minutes, no distraction, but we're going to get a 30-foot leash, and we're going to start going 10 feet away, and then 15, and then 20, and then 30, all right? And then once we get that, we start adding the distraction, teaching her, hey, it doesn't matter what's going on, you need to stay, all right? All right, so we're going to get started today with the time. I'm going to start this process by asking her to sit. If she'll take food, you can give her food for the sit. She's not taking food from me, so I'm not going to bother, okay? Then I'm going to say stay. I'm going to look at my watch. Now, you do need something to keep track of your time. If you two are doing this together, one of you can keep time on a cell phone. But if you're by yourself, there's no way you can ask her to sit, ask her to stay, start your stopwatch, walk around in front of her, repeat stay. If she breaks, correct her, restart. It won't work. If you got to go to Rite Aid or somewhere and get a $7 piece of crap watch that you can keep track of your seconds with, all right? So I'm going to ask her to sit. I'm going to say stay. I'm going to repeat stay like a broken record. Stay, stay, stay. An occasional good to let her know she's giving me the desired behavior. Stay. Why am I repeating stay? Repeating it, A, because I want to drill into her head what her responsibility is with that word, and it's going to help keep her attention on me. She's not required to stare at me as I move around in front of her. She's just required to sit, but she can hear me, okay? The second she lies down or gets up, I'm going to say, no, I'm going to slide my hand close to this, and I'm going to give her a pop to get her back into the seated position. I'm just going to start with a goal of my ultimate goal is 15 seconds. But if I get to 12 seconds without her moving, I'm going to go. I'm going to join her where she's on my left side. I'm going to stand next to her. I'm going to count in my head, 1001, 1002, free. And I can step left leg first, okay? So I'm conditioning her when she finishes or completes her stay that when I come stand next to you, you don't move until I say free. Because if I start teaching a dog stay and after the first couple reps, as soon as the dog completes the time, I come back and say, free, guess what? As soon as they see me coming towards them, they're going to be getting up. So I want to teach her, just because I come stand next to you doesn't mean you move. You move when I say free, okay? All right. Each time I do a stay, it's in a different spot, so she doesn't associate stay with one particular area. We're just starting with 15 seconds, okay? Anytime she breaks, my clock starts at 0. If she breaks 3 times, I'm going to correct her 3 times. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to start raising my voice. We're teaching her. She doesn't know what this is, and you can't get frustrated, all right? You got to have a thicker head than a dog, okay? You move, I'm going to put you back. Eventually, after you start getting a few successful in a row, then she starts to catch on to this process, okay? If she moves, it's super important that we say no, and if she takes a couple steps, to bring her back to the same spot. I don't want to start here and she gets up and walks and I say no sit, now she's here. Then I say, as she breaks again, no sit, now she's here. She needs to become the same spot. She doesn't need to face the same way, meaning if I start like this and she's facing this way and I'm moving around in front of her, and she breaks, and I say no, and I get her back and I make her sit, but now she's facing this way, that's okay. I'm not going to go 360. I'm staying no further around than her right shoulder, no further around this way than her left. We're just going to stay in front of her.
How many, do we practice this the same time, like 12, 15 minutes, and then that's it?
I'm going to go over your homework with this exercise, yeah. It'll be about that, or even less in the beginning.
Okay.
Okay? All right, you can stop your video and then restart, and